Yo guys, Features Gaming here. Welcome back to another video here on the channel, where today we are back on SCR, and as you can see, the format of this video is very different because I am actually streaming as of recording this video, and today I am basically going to take you in an in-depth look of how I passed my SG assessment. Obviously I talked about it on my previous video when we checked out the pacer, so I thought I would jump on when I did my live stream and show you what I did. So immediately as I joined the server, I was told to spawn at Stepford Central as a signaler. So let's go ahead and do that. So I clicked obviously play signaler, and then I went to Stepford Central, spawn at the approach road obviously, and then we go up to the signaling center, the signaling ROC center. And then when we came into the ROC, there were some obviously instructors there, or supervisors. We're to basically stand at the firing line of the window here and basically wait for further instructions. So in my first assessment, Jakov was the person who was supervising all of the things, so it was only me and 3 other trainees that were the people doing the training. So he went through the basic stuff and basically said for us to go to a supervising desk or another signaling desk, and when we sat down we had to go to zone A, which is here. And from here he basically told us how to basically change the signals, the principle of the rollback, and basically everything that we needed to know in order to pass the training. And then from there we had to basically wait for us to be called up to be assessed. So at the time they were doing zone A, so we could have actually helped out with the driving in zone A to basically give the signaler more trains to basically operate and manage. So that's what I did. I helped out with some of the driving and waited for me to be called up. So I was driving for about, I think, 20 minutes, and then Jakov obviously called me up for my assessment. So the first thing that we needed to do was, well, the first thing that we did in our assessment is we basically had to set up zone G. That's zone D. We basically had to set up zone G because it's literally easy. All you need to do is boom, 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 and then you set these two, boom, boom, and then you come over here, you set that one to red, and you set that one to red, and you are done. And then after we set it up, which we had 1 minute to do so, we had to basically then operate this signaling zone for about 3 minutes. So there was one minor mistake that I made when I was signaling this zone, and that was I let the depot out on green. But what have I just done? I have caused a conflict of signals because I didn't set this signal to red before, which is what I should have done. This should be set on red before you let the depot out. I didn't do that. Fortunately, there wasn't anyone, on this line, but if there was, that probably would have been an instant fail. And then from that, I basically did everything else fine. So if there was, if I needed to let, a train in or something, I had to send, this one on red and then this one on green, vice versa. Basically needs to manage all of that. As you know, main lines, set that on red while letting a train out of this, depot, or, again, vice versa. And making sure if trains were coming out of Westerfield, this needed to be set to red as well, because that's obviously a cross junction. And then after we did that, we then had to hop onto zone A, which was again the zone that we were signaling. So let me just set this up how I did in the assessment, and I'll basically show you what I did wrong. So just take a brief look at this setup and see where I have gone wrong. I'll give you a few seconds to notice what I have done wrong. Have you noticed it yet? Well, there is one signal that I have failed to change, and that is this one, because this is coming from the depot and I didn't see this in my initial setup. This signal needs to be set to red, and obviously if I wanted to let a train out, then I needed to set this one on red to let the depot train come out. So that's the first mistake that I made that I never actually noticed. And another mistake that I made is when a train came out of, is this Beachley? I did this. So I put the incoming line on red and made that on green. What have I done wrong now? I'll actually leave a few minutes on stream for you to see what I've done wrong as well. Well, what I have done is I have caused 2 conflicting signals, if that makes sense, which is on this line and this line, because if a train was coming out and it was going on to this track, then this line could have clashed with it, and so could this one, because this one wasn't set to red. Both of these need to be set to red as well while letting a train out of Beachley platforms 4 and 3. And because of those very minor mistakes, I would say, Jakov would probably say they are major ones. Unfortunately, I failed my first batch, and that was me unfortunately failing my first assessment. But luckily I joined joined another one a few days later, and this time I was told to do Zone D. So once again, it was the same principle. We were asked to do Zone G, you know, just as a very basic, you know, thing, just to basically train ourselves up, basically. And then we were told to do Zone D, and I did this absolutely flawlessly. I'll try and remember how I set it up. I'm not entirely too sure how I set it up, but I'll try and do what I remember. And this is how I set up Zone D. So obviously these need to be set on red because obviously there's just loads of confusing things here. Obviously the inner triangle, the depot up here, this one because it conflicts with this line. All of the depots are set on red. These two because they cause conflict with this line. So obviously this would be set to red if you were to set, you know, this line on red, you know, or that line on green and vice versa. And yeah, basically just doing everything that you're supposed to. And again, I had to do this zone for about like 5 minutes, which I did flawlessly, and I passed my my second thing. And then when I passed that, then I had to do the second assessment that you need to do when you pass the first training. And for that, I was told to do Zone A. So again, I went to set up Zone A and I did it. I had to do it for like 15 minutes, I think. And again, I did that absolutely perfect, and I passed the SG assessment. And that is basically a short video of how I passed my SG application. So I do apologize if it's a little bit short for your liking, but that is basically how I passed. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more content. And I will see you guys in the next video or stream. But until then, take care and peace out.